Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, let's do a walk around and tour of the 2025 Ford Explorer Active. The Active trim is the base model trim for most Ford SUVs, and what this entails is that you are going to be getting a basic setup of what the car is, but in this case, what we're looking at here today, this one here does have the Active Comfort Package, which specifically comes with LED daytime running lights, LED fog lamps, a heated steering wheel, remote start, and you also do get your 8-way power passenger seating in this one as well. You also get a 12.3-inch infotainment system on the inside, and overall, it's just a really well-equipped vehicle for a base model. With that being said, a huge thank you to Bob Thomas Pre-Owned, who is a part of the Thomas Auto Group here in McKinney, Texas, for giving me some time with this one today. And so, without further ado, let's go ahead and let's get started. As you can see on the key, it's a pretty simple key. It's one of Ford's more, standard key fobs. And as you can see, it includes the following functions here: your lock, unlock, remote start, your trunk release, and your panic button. To remote start the vehicle, just make sure the vehicle's locked. And double click the remote start function twice. And the 2.3-liter EcoBoost 4-cylinder will start right up. It's going to run for a few minutes before shutting itself off. And then when you're done, double click it again and it'll shut itself off from there. Starting off here in the front, as you can see, you have a very nice and uniquely accented grille. You have your Ford emblem front and center right there. Like I mentioned, this one here does have a set of LED signature headlights, LED daytime running lights, as well as LED fog lamps down below. Checking out the wheels and tires on this one, we are taking a look at a set of Hankook Kinergy GTs on 18-inch wheels, measuring 255 65 R18s all the way around. Coming over to the door, as you can see, this one here does come standard with a smart key access system, allowing for easy access to the exterior as well as the interior by having the key fob in your pocket. And coming up to the door, there's a touch sensor right here. Put your hand in and you'll be able to jump on inside. Or if you want to, close it up, tap this button here, and the vehicle will indicate locking. The exterior color of this one is finished off in vapor blue with the Space Gray Activex interior. Coming over to the door panel, as you can see, you're going to have some hard touch material on top here. However, it's made up for that down here with some soft touch material. You do have this nicely accented aluminum coming down the side, which is just very nicely well detailed. You have an aluminum door handle. You're going to have your power locks here, your power mirror controls, your power window controls. All 4 windows will be fully automatic. Coming down here below, you're going to have a storage pocket, and right next to that, you do have a small cup holder. Along with that smart key access system, the Ford Explorer Active does come standard with push button ignition. By having the key fob in your pocket or in the vehicle itself, just put your foot on the brake and hit the button to go. Very nice. The Ford Explorer does come standard with a fully leather wrapped rack and pinion power steering wheel with controls here on the left as well as on the right sides. Left is going to have your cruise control settings, lane departure, and forward collision warning. And down here is going to be your audio controls. To the right of that, you're going to have your controls for the instrument cluster. Follow that up for your hands-free voice and telephone controls down here. Coming up here, we're taking a look at your calm screen, which is a part of the instrument cluster display, and it looks very nice. We're seeing the miles to empty. You're going to be seeing your seatbelt monitor. To the right, it's going to show an icon of the vehicle. At the top, it's going to show your compass and the temperature outside, although I did just wash the vehicle, so it's a little bit cooler. It's going to keep the engine cooler for a long period of time. Coming down below, you're going to have your odometer reading, gear selection, and to the right of that, you're going to have your speed limiter right there. Now, as you cycle through, you have your map view, fuel economy, trip one information, as well as your tire pressure monitoring system, and you can configure My View. And then we go back to our main menu here and includes things such as your My View, trip and fuel, status house information, vehicle maintenance, audio, phone, and then you can set your speedometer in kilometers an hour. Coming over here, we're taking a look at a 12.3-inch display, which is very nice. And as you can tell, it's well detailed. It's a Google-based system, so it's going to work just like how you would on an Android device. Now, you're going to have your menus down here, climate control settings down here, and then everything else is going to be in the screen. But what we're going to first do, we're going to turn on the audio. I'm also going to disable the profile here because this is not my vehicle. Go ahead and set up to guest here. Keep the volume turned down. Make sure everything gets set up here. As you can see, every time I start the vehicle up, it's going to go back to the profile that was on before. So just making sure that everything is in place. So there we go. This is what you'll look like here when you initially start everything up for the first time. You're going to have a couple of different things that are going on around here, such as Google Maps, Bluetooth connectivity, what's playing on the radio. Of course, we're going to open Maps and actually show you everything here. So this is going to be your Google-based navigation system, which is very nice and well detailed, although nothing's really on the screen here since it is a guest setup. However, you get an idea of what it looks like. You're going to have your on different menus over here. So you have your Google Assistant, settings, audio, compass, zoom in and out. You can search for destinations, and you have different destination examples here, such as your gas stations, restaurants, grocery stores, or cafes. Pretty cool to see. Let's say I want to go to our radio system. It's going to show us everything that you need to see here, what's playing on the radio, seek track. You can actually direct tune right here to a particular station. And then over here is just going to be your music icon until you get to a station that actually has, so for example, you have AM, FM, Sirius XM, Bluetooth, Google News. Let's go to FM radio. It's going to show what the name of the station, it's going to show what's playing and all that stuff. And it's kind of the same that we see here on the XM as well. So, and then if you want to, you can just add this station, for example, to a preset, and it will be right down here always, so that we can go back to that preset whenever you feel like it. So overall, pretty cool stuff to see there. Now, with that being said, as we go back to the home button, this is to add a phone to a Bluetooth system. This is your profile, which is pretty nice. Coming down here to the vehicle, you're going to have valet mode, vehicle status, and settings. And here's an icon of the vehicle in what almost seems to be the exact color of this car, which is vapor blue metallic. Coming over here to vehicle status, you have tire pressure as well as your oil life, as you can see. You do have your settings here. Settings is going to be a comprehensive list of things that you can enable, disable, change, and make it your own. Your menus are going to be right here. Everything else that kind of corresponds with what's going on over here will be on this side. So for example, we're looking at vehicle settings. It includes your 30-minute max idle, rear occupant alert, lighting, key detection alert, remote start setup, wipers, power liftgate, and locks. So for example, let's go over to our sound. You have balance and fade, tone, speed, compensated volume, occupancy mode, volume settings, ringtones, and notification sounds. You have your driver assistance, which is going to give you a rundown of all the driver assistance systems that come in the vehicle, such as adaptive cruise control, speed limit assist, lane keeping system, pre-collision assist, rear view camera delay, blind spot information system, rear cross traffic alert, reverse brake assist, as well as driver alert. Let's say I want to go to the system settings. It's going to give you things such as languages, as well as units in time, storage, what Android system this is running on, and all that stuff. Display settings here include your touchscreen beep, modes, themes, a calm screen, and all that stuff. So pretty cool to see. And as you come down here, this is going to be all your apps that come standard in this vehicle. So you have Maps, Play Store, Google Assistant, phone, AM, FM, Sirius XM, and all that stuff coming down here. You even have Google News as well as YouTube, since YouTube is a Google-based, not Google-based, it's a Google service that's offered to you, which is very nice. So you can watch YouTube in this vehicle if you want. So overall, That's a basic look at the infotainment system in the Ford Explorer Active. Now, like I mentioned before, down here you are going to have your climate control settings, dual zone setup here, fan speed, fan positioning, auto AC. This is going to be for your heated steering wheel as well as your heated seats for the front passenger. And that's pretty much about it there. Coming out below that, you're going to have your vents. You do have some physical controls here. This is your volume knob, auto stop start, you can turn it on or off. Your perpendicular or parallel parking, you can turn that on or off. Hazard lights, camera, traction control on and off, and this I believe is going to be for your brake hold. Coming here to your camera, as you can see here, we're taking a look at a crystal clear camera system itself. It looks pretty nice, and it does turn as you move the wheel. Pretty cool to see. Down below this, we have a little storage area. Down here further, you are going to have a bit more storage where you can store a phone and of course a headphone in here, for example. You can also charge your phone in here via USB-C, a USB, and then you have an outlet next to that. You do have two cup holders here. You do have your 10-speed automatic transmission. And as we go into reverse, we do have that camera that we just talked about here with the guidance lines. You also have a split screen view as well, and a top-down view also. You do have your electronic parking brake, as well as your different drive modes. So you're gonna have your eco, normal, slippery, trail, followed by sport and tow haul. Very cool. Come over here to your glove compartment, good amount of storage space, and it does look pretty good in here for what it is. Plus you have two USB ports inside of there as well. Now, this being the base model Explorer, it's very nice. It's going to be very comfortable. This being the Activex material, it's going to be a faux leather. It's not really a full-on leather seat, although it technically is, as you can tell by the stitching here. But some might call this faux leather or fake leather, but it kind of feels very real. You can, again, tell by the stitching here on the bolster, which look really nice. You kind of have this premium cloth upper portion here, which is very cool. Also on the side of the headrest, which looks very interesting. But overall, it does provide you with a good amount of comfort, and it is a lighter color, so it's going to keep the interior a lot cooler, especially as we get into the warmer months. Come over here to your glove box. You have a good amount of storage space inside of there. As you can see, you have your mirror. You do have your overhead light controls, sunglass holder, 3 garage home link, a visor with a small mirror and LED lighting. Come over here to the left, you're going to have your headlight controls and fog light controls. This is to open up the trunk, and this is your gauge dimmer switches. But overall, the Ford Explorer Active is a pretty interesting model in the sense that it does come with one main package. It does have a good amount of features. You do have that large infotainment system. So overall, you don't need to upgrade to anything like a Limited or a King Ranch, for example. But with that said, let's go ahead and continue the tour of this 2025 Ford Explorer Active. Coming into the second row of the Ford Explorer, as you can see, materials do fall through, and as you can tell, it does look really nice in here. You do have the genuine leather coming all the way down, and the stitching does look really good in here as well. You do have 2 seat pockets, one on this side and one on that side. You do have controls for your air conditioning and climate controls, 2 USB ports down here, as well as a power outlet next to that. And of course, this is a 3-row SUV, which in this case does have a captain's chair setup, making it easier to go into the 3rd row, which as you can see is currently down at the moment. This one here does have the Easy Fuel capless fuel filler, making it easier to fill up at the gas station. And an illustration of it if you're using the fuel pump or if you're using a traditional gas tank. The Explorer Active does come standard with LED taillights in the back. You have Explorer spelled out across. You have your Active badge right down here. And then down below, you're going to have your rear parking sensors. Give me a second, guys. I have to actually open it up from the inside. And it does open up automatically. As you can see, you have plenty of room in here, and overall it's pretty nice. I will post the figures here on the screen so you guys can have a better idea of how much cargo space this one has. Now you can fold the seats down, and you can pull them back up using those little straps right there. And when you use those tabs for the second row, you will increase cargo space, as you can visually see if you were to actually fold them down. Now, with that being said, with the third row being down and the second row being down, you have more than enough room to put stuff in, whether it's a grocery haul, whether you're going on a vacation, whatever the case may be. Now, underneath here, you do have extra storage space. You also have over here some storage space on this side, as well as on this side. You also have an outlet here, LED lighting, and overall just a really well equipped cargo area. And then when you're done, tap this button here and it will close automatically. I do apologize for the rear of it being dirty, although it just got washed. Black plastic mirror covers. Go ahead and open up the hood so you guys can see what's underneath. Under the hood of the Ford Explorer Active, we're taking a look at Ford's 2.3 liter inline 4-cylinder. This is an EcoBoost engine, which means you are going to be getting greater fuel efficiency. It produces 300 horsepower and 310 pound-feet of torque. It's going to be to a 10-speed automatic transmission, and this one in particular is rear-wheel drive. All right, guys, so with that being said, sitting back in the Ford Explorer Active, it's a pretty well-equipped vehicle for what you're getting yourself into. It's nice, it's well put together, and this one only has 2 packages. So the Active Comfort package is for $33.60. It does give you the LED signature daytime running lights, the LED headlights, LED fog lamps. You do get remote start, you do get a heated steering wheel, you do get the 8-way power passenger seating, and all that stuff. And then the Vapor Blue color is for $495. With that being said, I will post that information on the description so that way you guys will have an idea of how much this car costed when it was brand new. And it only has less than 600 miles on it, which is, to my surprise, pretty interesting. So I don't know if the person didn't like the vehicle, if there's something wrong with the vehicle, but needless to say, it is still, without a doubt, a pretty cool one to check out. And in my opinion, the Ford Explorer will continue to be a very good seller here for Ford, as it always has been for the last 3+ decades. But with that being said, guys, that's going to do it here for this walk around and tour of the 2025 Ford Explorer Active, finished off in Vapor Blue with the Space Gray Activex interior. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.